Let's look at Chapter 11, Lesson 1 review. Find the difference. You can see that they decided to line up the decimals because when you add or subtract, the decimal goes straight down. You have 9 and 4 tenths minus 6 and 7 tenths. 4 minus 7 you can't do, so you cross out the 9, you make it a 8. Then you have 14 minus 7, which is 7. Bring down the decimal. 8 minus 6 is going to be 2, so 2 and 7 tenths. Number 2, you have 5 and 2 tenths minus 1 and 9 tenths. Cross out the 5, make it a 4. This is 12. Take away 9 is 3. Bring down the decimal. 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. 3 and 3 tenths. Number 3, you have 1 and 70 hundredths and 18 hundredths. You're going to have to borrow from the 7, make it a 6. This becomes 10, take away 8, which is 2. 6 minus 1 is going to be 5. Bring the decimal straight down. 1 take away 0 is 1. Continue with the strategies for 1 through 10. For number 11, you can go ahead and line up the decimals. And you have 10 and 11 hundredths minus 8 and 9 tenths. Your decimals are lined up. You're going to put a 0 here to hold your place. 1 take away 0 is going to be 1. You're going to need to borrow from the 1, make it a 0. This becomes 9 and this becomes 11. 11 minus 9 is going to be 2. Bring your decimal straight down. 9 minus 8 is 1. Your answer is 1 and 21 hundredths. Number 12, you can do the same thing where you're going to be lining up the decimals. You have 31 hundredths minus 22 hundredths. And you should be able to do this in your head that this would equal 9. And 0, bring your decimal straight down, so that would equal 9 hundredths. You can do the same thing where you have 15 minus 4 and 2 tenths. Put a decimal. Put your 0 there to hold your place. Cross out the 5. You're going to go ahead and make it a 4. This becomes 10. Take away 2 is 8. 4 take away 4 is going to be 0. Bring down the 1. Bring your decimal straight down, and you have 10 and 8 tenths. Use this strategy to solve numbers 14 through 20 on your own. Remember to show work, and if you need an extra sheet, attach it to your paper. Measurement. Write the equivalent measure. 18 inches equals how many feet? Well, I know that 12 inches equals 1 foot, and there would be 6 left over out of 12, which would be 1/2. 1 yard equals how many inches? That would be 36 inches because 1 yard is 3 feet, and 3 times 12 is 36. 5 feet equals how many inches? Well, I'd take 5 times 12, and I would get 60 inches. 36 inches equals how many feet? I know that 36 divided by 12 is going to equal 3 feet. 48 inches equals how many feet? Divide 48 by 12 and you would get 4 feet. 1 1/4 feet equals how many inches? Well, I know that 1 foot is 12. And then to find 1/4 of 12, I would divide 12 by 4. And that goes in 3 times. So what's 12 plus 3? And I know that that equals 15. So 1 1/4 feet would equal 15 inches. 3 1/2 yards equals how many inches? Well, I know that 3 yards, I would need to take 3 times 36, because in each yard there's 36 inches. 3 times 6 is going to be 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is going to be 10. So that'd be 108. But then I need half of the yard, which I know that 36, and I would divide that by 2, would be 18 inches. So I'd add that on to 108, and I would get 126 inches. 1 1/2 yards equals how many feet? Well, I know that 1 yard would be 3 feet, and then half of a yard is going to be 18 inches. And if I look up here, I know that 18 inches and 1 1/2 feet. So 3 plus 1 foot is going to be 4 1/2 feet. 42 inches equals how many yards? Well, I can take 42 and subtract 36 from it because that's how many inches are in 1 yard. and I know that would be 6 inches. So I know it's just going to be 1 yard, and then I need to figure out what the fraction is. It would be 6 out of 36 inches left, but I can reduce that to 1/6 because 6 goes into 6 one time and 6 goes into 36 6 times. So it's 1 and 1/6 yards. 60 inches equals how many yards? So I know that I would need to divide 60 by 12, and that's going to equal 5 feet. And then I know that 3 of those feet would be a yard, so it would be 1 yard. And then there would be 2 feet left over, 2 out of 3 which I would need, which would be 2/3 of a yard. 1½ yards equals how many inches? Well, I know that 1½ yards is going to be 4½ feet, and I know that 4 feet is going to be 48 inches, and then half of a foot more would be plus 6, and that's going to be 54 inches. 24 inches equals how many yards? Well, I know that that's not even 1 yard, so I know that that would be 24 out of 36. And I can reduce that. I know that 6 goes into 24 4 times, and 6 goes into 36 6 times. I can reduce it even further. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So it'd just be 2/3 of a yard. 20 inches equals how many foot in inches? Well, that would be 1 foot, and there'd be 8 inches left over, because 12 plus 8 equals 20. 72 inches equals how many yards? And I know that 36 plus 36 equals 72, and 36 inches are in a yard, so that would equal 2 yards.